Hey guys, so while there's still a ton of craziness going on, behind me I got a 2020 X3M competition. S58 motor in it. I'm hyped to do this car. I have been pretty excited for the S58 for a little while now. I'm not sure if I want to get one of these or just wait till the new M3 comes out. We'll sort of just see what happens. This car's bone stock. We're going to do a tune on it, see what I can get out of it. I don't know if I'm doing any ethanol testing. We'll sort of see what the customer wants after I do a pump gas tune. We'll go from there. Also, after that's all done, probably next month or two, we'll pull this car apart to build downpipes off it to get some downpipes in production. Also, in terms of what's going on today in the shop, F32, I guess, 435 getting downpipe, intake, downpipe, charge pipe, and a tune. Behind me on the lift, up here, we got a F90 M5 getting a methanol injection kit. It's gonna be running full 85 with meth injection. Should make 800 plus wheel horsepower. Go deep 10s, high 9s, depending on the weight that he's at. I'm gonna start off with some baseline dyno hits on this X3M. This is how we are now. So, I don't know how good you can hear me. Hopefully it's great. The car, right off the bat, car's brand new. It has like 1,000 miles on it. Maybe just did a break-in. The cats smell horrendous. Horrible, horrible, horrible. So that's baseline pulse. See what it made. So it made 489 wheel horsepower and 466 wheel torque best. So not the craziest consistency between the runs. The third run was actually the highest power, but almost 500 wheel horsepower out of a stock truck that's all-wheel drive is huge. This motor is going to be pretty great. So I'm going to review data logs right now, see where we're at, and then I'm going to see how much I can go up in power. I'm not sure where I left off before, but here's some dyno hits with the tune and testing. Windows update. Why is Windows always got update right now? Try to give you guys some dyno hits. Actually a bunch of baseline hits, and then also I started doing a few tweaks. Right off the rip, we've done a few of these cars with piggybacks, you can guess which ones, and I personally have never seen it to make the power that is claimed. The boost goes up, the timing's all over the place. And a lot of people claim on 91 octane they're getting 50 wheel horsepower. From me and my testing, I had a car here with a piggyback on it, and they sent another one because they said it probably wasn't working right. It still did not make the power. I personally just now went ahead and first I just added a little bit of boost. It didn't make any more power. It actually pulled timing a bunch. It seems like once this car pulls any timing, it just can't fix it. It just pulls ridiculous amounts of timing. That's something I'll look into in the future possibly when I have really good gas in the car, not 93 octane. So once it pulls any timing, it doesn't just seem to pull like a degree or so to correct, it's pulling large amounts of timing. So from the factory compared to where I'm at, the factory timing was all over the place. Just by pulling literally 5 degrees timing out at the same boost as factory, I actually made the same exact power as factory. I then turned the boost up with the 5-degree ignition timing removed ignition timing tables, and the car made more and more power. Previously, when I just tried to turn the boost up with the stock timing tables, which still pulls timing when you go up and boost with the factory curve. When I did that, the power was not great. It made a bunch of torque down low, and by the time I got to redline, it was pretty much at stock, which is about the same I saw with the piggyback car. So by me pulling out timing And then going up on boost, I'm now gaining more and more and more. So here's a few of the dynamics, you can sort of see what's going on. So here's some baseline hits. The best I was at was 489 wheel horsepower and 466 wheel torque. That one that's a little higher was after I pulled timing out. I actually made a little bit more in the mid-range with everything being happy. I'll rip through a bunch of these for you guys. So here you can see where I added just boost. So factory 16 PSI ramping to about 20-ish, I could say. This is about 20 flat. It went to 544 wheel torque, so about 80 wheel torque. But up top, and if you look at the power, it's almost stock. It's really, really close. And this because the car's pulling a bunch of timing like that. Then it becomes like some of my most recent pulls. The difference between that one and that one goes from 500 wheel horsepower to 538 wheel horsepower. So 30 wheel horsepower up top by removing ignition timing, which is pretty wild. So those two runs are actually on the exact same boost, I'd say, and the difference is that one's actually has less timing. And once again, typically it's crazy. A lot of times the other cars, you'll see if the car pulls any timing, it's pretty smart. It pulls about the amount that it needs. If it needs to pull degree, half degree on that cylinder, it'll do it. It works amazing. It seems like this is probably significantly oversensitive. So pretty much, I'm assuming the step size is too big, so once it pulls a little bit, it over pulls, and it just never recovers from it. So running the lesser amount of timing seems to make way more power. So now I'm gonna run again with a little bit the same lesser timing and turn the boost up more and more. So this one actually, I was wrong a second ago. I said it's 20 PSI flat. Factory is about 16 to 20 up top. The other one where you saw a lot of torque and only like 10 horsepower up top, I think it's about 22 PSI. I have to check the data out to see. And then this new one where it makes a lot more power up top is the exact same boost. So the difference between those is just timing. So what does that mean? It means if you're piggybacking your car, it's never gonna make the same power as Flash, in my opinion. I also run a car a little bit richer than factory because it seems to. It's always gonna bring cylinder temperatures down and reduce chance of pre-ignition or detonation. Last but not least, I'm turning boost up. If you have a piggyback, running a little bit of ethanol is probably amazing. This car's so over time from the factory, like it has so much extra timing from the factory that you preventing knock by putting E85 is probably a huge benefit. This car's on 93 octane. Customer's not doing downpipes yet, and he's not doing 85 yet. He just wants 93 octane on a factory car. So we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep making tweaks and making more dyno hits, see how high I can get it on just pump gas. Alright, so pretty much no matter what I do boost-wise and fuel-wise, it still seems to always pull a little bit of timing on pump gas. So I went ahead, I threw some E85 into it. We're at like a 50-50 blend, I could say, E50-ish, E45. And I'm gonna re-dyno it right now on this blend. I just changed the ECU to be okay with this. I'm gonna run it like 1 or 2 hits probably, see where I stand, and then go from there. If it works good, I'll leave it. If not, I'll adjust. So this hits on ethanol blend fuel. So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna give you guys a one of the stock runs on the sheet where I left off on pump gas on the sheet, and then so far on 85, which is a hair more boost than I was running on pump gas. All right, so you're looking at 489 horsepower stock, 530 so far on pump gas, with about 50 wheel horsepower, and 600 wheels so far on 85, which is about 110 wheel horsepower. I mean, the gains are pretty consistent. But the thing is that whether I'm on pump gas or 85, it seems to be pulling a little bit of timing. And it's like good fuel on moderate boost. I'm gonna tweak some things right now and see if I can make it stop pulling timing. It's just a little bit sensitive from the factory. I'm gonna adjust a few things and go from there. And then I'm gonna turn the boost up a little bit more and see what we can get out of it since we have good fuel in the gas. Then at a later date, I'll go back to the pump gas, and I would expect instead of making the 538 horsepower, it'll probably make 550-ish, which is the current norm on this setup. I don't think if you have a piggyback running 14.7 to 1 air fuel or 1 lambda, you will be anywhere close to the 550 wheel horsepower number. If you have a piggyback in a car, you think you make it 550, go hit a dyno. I think you'll be surprised that you're making 490 wheel horsepower. So let's try this right now. Turning it up on E. So turn it up a little bit more on the ethanol blend. It makes 644 wheel horsepower. It can probably make more, but for right now with a bone stock car, I'm pretty happy. I'm gonna leave it like this. I've seen some other people make within a few horsepower with different setups, but once again, piggyback on your car, car's running so lean all the time. You guys can do what you want. I'd rather throw more fuel at it, be a little bit safer, and have a proper tune on my car. I'd hope you'd want the same. So here's a dyno, check this out. It's like a few back to back to me. Maybe check this out. Let's see if I can make this. Alright, so if you look, you have your stock baseline all the way down here. This sad line, 480 wheel, 489. That's the best of the best. Also, this is in all-wheel drive mode. I'm not doing some sort of dyno mode that only runs the rear wheels, which gets rid of a lot of drivetrain loss, which might lead to higher numbers. This is all-wheel drive mode. So, 489 wheel horsepower, 466 wheel torque. So far on pump gas, mind you, my new pump gas tune will actually make a hair more, but to drain this fuel, go back to pump gas, make sure there's no ethanol left. There's a lot of work right now. So 536 wheel horsepower, 548 wheel torque. I'd expect to be closer to 550, 550. Gains on pump gas. And then we're at 641 wheel horsepower, 646 wheel torque. So almost 150, 150. So pretty solid gains for a bone stock car, 0 mods, only tune, and now we did tune and fuel change. So I'm gonna leave like this. I'm more than happy. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up.